All right, let's go ahead and continue on functions. So we have three things left in the Swift Playground's function section. And so what they're doing now is they're saying call functions from other functions. So that's something that you can do is you can write a function and then you can call it from another function. So you can create small blocks of simplistic instructions and then you can call those from other functions to make more complicated things. That's exactly what we're going to do here. So we've got a function called turnaround that they've already written for us. And we're going to do this function called solve stare. The goal is to write something that solve stare will automatically grab everything else. And so we know we've got turnaround. It's going to be really important. So basically our pattern is we're going to move forward, grab the gem, turn around, move forward, turn left. So if I do that in a pattern and grab 4 gems, then I'll be done. So let's write that a little bit. So I'm going to move forward, collect gem, turn around, move forward, turn left. And if we do that, let's just run that and see what that looks like. So I'm going to run that under run faster, collect the gem, turn around, and then I'm set up for the next one. So then I could literally just copy and paste this. Go this, 2, 3, 4. And ideally, if we're writing this in the real world, we would create a third function that runs the move forward, collect gem, turn around, move forward, turn left. And then in solve stare, we would just call that 4 times. So, but let's go ahead and just see what this looks like. There we go, and we're done. Let's keep playing though. Let's see if they will let us. Will they let us? No, they won't. Oh, sorry. They keep it pretty tight where you can only write code in these blocks. I was going to say let's write another function and then let's simplify this guy a little bit, but it looks like we can't. So we'll just continue on. Going to reset this page so we don't have the solution already. And this is decompose a solution across multiple functions. So it can be useful to define a function that accomplishes a small task, then call that within another function to accomplish a bigger task. That's exactly what we're doing in the last one and in this one. So this practice makes your code more readable because you can name a function based on its purpose. That's a really big thing in Swift, is naming your function according to what it does. Instead of just naming it function do X, it will be grab gem, turn around. Might be the name of the function. Then on this one, it's collect gem, turn around. So they've got a function that's written for us. They're going to run the code to see what happens when solve row is called. So right now we can just look at this and we can see solve row calls collect gem, turn around. And in our code, we've got these 2 functions declared, and then we just call solve row, which is then going to call this. Let's just run this and see what it does. That's pretty useful. So what it does is it goes and moves forward to, grabs the gem, turns around, moves back to our center column here. This column in the middle is really where we're setting up a lot of similar things. So if you look, I had a gem up here. I've got a gem down here, both 2 steps away. And then I've got the same thing here. It's hard to see, but there's one underneath over here. And then there's one up here, and then here and here. So off of this column in this row, I've got several instances where I've got a situation like this. So it says tweak the code for solve row so that it solves a bigger chunk of the puzzle. So I think what we want to do is we want to get the whole row, both the top and the bottom gems. So let's play around with that real quick. So we got back to middle. We could do this. And it's saying tweak code inside solve row. So we could do, I think this would get us. Let's try this real quick. And I'm going to speed this up a little bit so we're not watching this all day. We'll move forward, get the other gem. So we tweaked it to solve both sides of the row. And we could do that again. If we wanted to, we could... let's see what number 3 says. Call solve row along with other commands to solve the puzzle. So what they're hoping for here is... Let's do it down here instead of writing it in the function. Turn right, move forward, turn left, solve row. Will it let us write another function? No, it won't. Darn. Let's see what this does. So our first solve row is running. And there we go again. So now we're going to do it again. But we could take this, turn right, move forward, turn left, because that repeats. We know we're going to need to do that again. We could put that into this. And then instead of calling it down here, we could just call solve row. Let's do that 3 times. There we go. We're set. We're done with this one. So by calling solve row 3 times and moving this repeatable pattern in here as well, it helps simplify our code. Let's reset this one so we don't have all of the solution. So it's saying decompose patterns and create your own functions. In the last challenge, so we're in the last one here, start by finding a small pattern of commands, then create a function that calls them. Use the function to start solving the parts of the puzzle. So if we look at this, I've got a short end of this cross, and then I've got a long end of this cross. So we could look at what this involves. If we look, the cross right here is really similar to the cross at the end of these long pieces. So I know I've got 4 pieces that repeat very easily. So let's do a function solve small. We'll call it small t. Oh, oops, I'm writing this wrong. There we go. Solve small t. So we know we've got this t right here at the end, and that's why I'm calling it that. And so to call or to solve this t, I'm going to move into the t, and then I'm going to move again. Then I'm going to toggle. Oops, got to get to the next. Then I'm going to turn around, but we don't have turn around. So let's go ahead and write turn around. This is a good thing to do. We're going to end up doing this a lot, but this will help really cement that learning of writing your own function. So I'm going to go ahead and write turn around. We already had that in another lesson where they were writing that for us, but let's go ahead and do that so that we've got access to that. And it doesn't matter that one's below the other. So if I do turn around here, it's still going to work because it loads in all of our functions when it compiles this or builds this program, and then you have access to all of them. So I know now that, let's move one more forward. If I was, let's say I was doing this, I would move forward, toggle, turn around, move forward, move forward. That solves that one. So that's a great thing. And then what we need to do is compensate for this right here. Once we're here on this one, then we're basically like we're going on the center and we're moving this way. So if I was to do this, I could call solve small t, And that would actually solve, let's run this, and I'm going to run it in the fastest so that we're not wasting a whole bunch of time. Toggle, and we're already facing the right direction, so he just goes ahead and runs it. So that's great. Now let's handle the larger parts. So I'm going to turn left, and then that will get us facing this southern way. So then we know we need to solve a small t, but we also need to solve this little leg. So I'm going to say function solve little leg. And we're going to call this move forward. Move forward. And then we're going to toggle switch. And then we're going to call solve small t, because at that point we're there. But we need to move back out further. So I'm going to call another function that says get to other leg. And the reason I'm writing this is because I know I need to move a whole lot. So once I do that little leg, I'm going to be back at where that switch is, and I need to move 1, 2, 3, 4 more spots. Or actually, no, I don't. I only need to move 2 spots. So let's just, if it's just 2 spots, let's not even write that, because that's not even worth writing. We'll just say move forward, move forward. Oh, that's actually in the wrong spot, sorry. We'll call this first. Sorry, I'm getting out of turns here. So we're going to call solve little leg. And what that's going to do, or actually, it's actually not even a little leg at this point, because we bring in solve small t here. So I'm going to call this solve large leg, because we've incorporated the whole leg into this by calling solve small t. And then I'm going to change this here. And let's just run that real quick and see what we end up with. We get our little legs like we're thinking of the cross or the T. Then we solve our small part, and then we walk back to here. So after solve small t, that's hard to say, move forward and move forward again. And that's going to reset us back to the center. And then down here, we don't need to turn or anything. We're just going to say solve large leg. And let's run that. That should be everything we need. Yep, and now we're doing that last leg, then we're turning around and we're resetting back to center. And that's something that's kind of interesting too. Like we didn't have to move all the way back there, but we wrote a function that gets us back to there. And so you'll do that a lot with code, where you write something that performs an action and then resets you back to normal or back to an expected state. That's pretty common. Now, what did we do here? We really wrote 3 different functions here. Turn around is one you've seen before, just turn left and turn left. We needed that as kind of a utility function to help us turn our guy around. Solving the small t helped solve these small little areas right here that also tend to repeat in these larger areas as well. And then we solved this larger leg by adding in some extra forwards, toggling a switch, solving a small t, and then resetting us by moving us back towards that center. That's the end of the function section, and so on the next video, we're going to get into for loops. I hope this has been beneficial for you. Just know that if this feels a little bit simplistic, that's okay. I would encourage you to go through this playground, play around with things and options, and see if you can solve it in different ways as you go through here. And just know that the more you type this stuff out and the more you repeat this, the better you're going to get at it. It can feel a little bit boring in the beginning, but as you add in more concepts, things that start loops and conditionals and things like that, you're going to be glad that you've got this foundational stuff going. So once again, thank you for tuning in, and we'll have another video on for loops next. Bye.